intro today either. We're gonna make sure we're gonna test this out.
What you want? Damn, you can't find that.
What?
I was gonna say you can't find that review. How you put that shit up? Nah,
Oh
don't
no,
put that
I
up.
ain't gonna do that shit. Because that would
Nah, I
bring more
thought about
attention
it.
to it than it needs to. But
Yeah,
all right.
I
I'll tell
thought
you what the
about it.
game is. Hold on, let me turn on my Xbox right quick. Hit the like button, hit the share button if you guys are there. Hold on.
Oh man,
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm a little late.
good. Nah, you right on time. We just went up.
Are we live? Are we live? I just got
I
in.
think he just went. Nah,
All right. Oh man. Oh damn, what's wrong?
Nick, did you get Ghostwire?
not yet, man.
This is a chill day, by the way. Chill.
Man, I'm damn obsessed with this game, dude.
What game you playing?
Yeah, I gotta get it though. I just got Elden Ring.
What game you playing, Logan?
Oh, right now I'm playing Ghostwire Tokyo, dude.
Okay.
I got the deluxe edition. I think it was
What
like
game you
what,
playing, Logan?
like $72 to get the deluxe edition, which gave you like 3 days early access to it. Man, I'm loving this game. I'm absolutely loving it.
Why you say it seems like I'm going through new game withdrawal? I haven't even if a new game came out, I don't think I'd be playing it.
Like,
Well, Ghostwire.
Oh yeah, well, I've been playing. Well, the thing about I do plan on getting Ghostwire, but I gotta finish Horizon first. But the problem is I haven't gone back to Horizon because I haven't finished the Elden Ring.
I told y'all wasn't gonna pick that game back up, man.
I'm not gonna pick it back up in the middle of Elden Ring. I got to get Elden Ring done. It's just like
done.
It's like a personal challenge. Like, because if I could beat this game, like I feel like I don't need to. I personally don't feel like I need to beat another a whole nother game. Like I'll meet one of my quotas for the year. Let me. It's called.
what are we gonna do?
It's called Kraken Academy, bro. Like it's called Kraken Academy. Go straight to the fucking reviews.
This dude.
Go
bro.
straight to the reviews.
When,
That
you
shit
find
is
it?
funny, dog. Like,
When are we gonna do Returnal co-op? Me and you should do that. We should get on there.
do I even? Oh, did I buy that game digitally? Yeah, I think. I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Remember, you got. I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't tried it since the
Go through it,
update.
do it, and co-op move together.
You beat the game already?
No, I never did. I never got around to finishing it.
What I say? Because that's the only way I'm probably gonna beat it if I'm playing it in
That's what I'm saying,
co-op.
man. Play it in co-op, like start a brand new, fresh game. Me and you do some streams.
Yeah.
Be some good time.
Yeah. Am I sounding okay?
God. Oh my god. Yo, I didn't know what this was, man, when I seen it.
Yeah. They're going ham on it, you know. Some of the positive reviews are trying to are over there. Yesterday was a lot more negative, but nah, I think there they go. You keep going back, you start seeing those ones.
Oh my god. I see it. Yo ho. Wavy hanky. What the hell?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Xbox episode 97. I mean, we're short staffed today, but we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be chilling, taking some questions. We're not gonna be here too long, but there are some things to cover. We can go over what everybody's playing. We can start with NickBanks. What are you playing currently?
Oh man, I'm currently playing Elden Ring. Man.
Elden Ring. You finally made it over to Elden Ring. Okay.
Yeah, finally made it over after I played the game of the year game, Horizon Forbidden West, you know. So far Elden Ring is good, man, but it's just an open world Dark Souls so far, you know. Yes, I like it though. But.
Okay. Logan.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
I've been playing a couple. I've been juggling a couple things. So, started up Tunic. I'm actually pretty decent way through Tunic. Absolutely loving that game. If you're a fan of like old school Zelda / like Souls games. It's actually really solid and definitely a challenging game. It, even though it looks super cute, that game actually has a lot of challenge to it. As well as I'm playing a Way Out with my wife.
It's a good game.
Her and I are going through and playing that together. And so having a lot of fun doing that. And then I'm also playing Ghostwire Tokyo right now. So I'm like juggling like 3 different games, and Ghostwire Tokyo I think is the one that's gonna get me hooked into right now because I don't want to put it down. That's why I was late getting in here.
Yeah, I'm so happy that Ghostwire Tokyo came out in like March. For the simple fact that by the time it comes to Xbox, it won't feel like a long wait. These late like Deathloop came out in what, September, so he's like, damn, you got to get through the whole entire summer, like completely. So like Ghostwire would come like after there's been like a good flow of games, and usually when you start the year, March isn't too far. So for some reason, I don't know why March feels like from November, right? March seems quicker than from whatever we are now, March to like September. But I do plan on getting Ghostwire on PlayStation. Is it still on can I still get it on a PS Plus still, or did I have to pre-order it to get it for like
I don't know. It might still have like the PS Plus deal.
Yeah.
Like for like its launch, because technically the game's not out right now, so like if you pre-ordered it or whatever, got it right now, you could probably still get it.
When it comes out, what, tomorrow or something, or Friday?
Because it comes out Friday officially, but with the deluxe edition, you got 3 days early access. So we got access to it yesterday, and then it officially comes out on the 25th.
Oh, for everyone. So you paid to play early.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wanted deluxe edition and stuff, and yeah, I wanted to play it 3 days early. So yeah, I paid like $20 more. I'll look at the store real quick and check for you here, because I could technically get the regular edition still.
Yeah.
Where's the?
Oh my god. Yo, this is crazy. I'm sorry, yo.
Yeah. I'm still pretty much playing Elden Ring. I tried Tunic. I've tried Shredders, and I'm trying to think what else did I download. Did I download anything?
What you think about Shredders?
Shredders is cool. It's not Amp 3.
You probably didn't like Shredders, or I mean Tunic, did you?
It's not that I didn't like it. Like I didn't play enough of it. Like I didn't get to anything where it was challenging yet. I just haven't played enough of it. But
yeah, it takes long to get into.
Shredders is okay. I just wish it was arcadey. Like Amp 3 is the best snowboarding game I've played. That and like SSX. So I think Shredders is a little bit more, even though it has like a arcadey like campaign, the gameplay of it is just a little bit, I feel like on a technical side, it's not as I'm not the biggest fan of the controls. There's a lot of involvement of the back buttons, like the triggers and the bumpers. Triggers is fine. It's just I don't know. I find myself struggling to get used to the controls. So it's like to do certain moves, it's just like I can't get my muscle memory reacting to consistently do it. So it's a bit of a struggle for me. But I like the way the game looks and we play. This is a good game to pass time, but I wish it was more like Amp 3 though, or SSX.
Yeah, it's a good looking game, but yeah, that was my thing, was like the controls are definitely a learning curve on Shredders. But I only got to play a little bit of it because I was playing it in between me getting frustrated with the bosses in Tunic. So I was like, I'm gonna switch to something else. So I haven't gotten too far in it. But Ghostwire Tokyo, the pre-order discount deal with the 10%, that ends tomorrow at 11:59. So
all right, 11:59 p.m. right?
Yeah, so like if you wanted just a regular edition, it's $53.99. The deluxe edition was like $71. So
okay,
it's like I think 10%. Yeah, 10% off.
I thought Surge Rated Great would be sleep. That's why I ain't asked him to come on. I thought he would be like, because we started late. But shout out to Surge Rated Great, TZ the Beast, or TEZ the Beast. I don't know why I messed this dude's name up. Teasy the Beast. Mike Lowry. Hit the like button. It's a slow night. So one of our favorite features is coming to the PlayStation. VRR update. And I've seen the response to this online. The immediate, I think, response to the update was, oh, another, this is something that, Xbox can't cap for. Another talking point that Xbox people can no longer use against PlayStation now. This VR update is coming to PlayStation sometime in the incoming months. They're not exactly sure, but it is coming this year. I know they enabled VR and some of the PlayStation and some of the Sony TVs. I'm not exactly sure how it works or how it compares because I no longer own a Sony TV. My last Sony TV was like this TV that I think that Solid Rev currently has, which is like the 900E or 930E or something like that. That was my favorite TV up until the the CX and stuff came out. But so this is the VR update is going to be cool because the game Ghostwire Tokyo, which Logan you're playing, they actually have like a
they have 120 hertz mode.
Yeah, they have 120 hertz mode, right? And or I don't know if it hits 120 hertz, but I know it's an unlocked frame rate mode.
Yeah, it's a faster because you have your quality mode, which is a 30 FPS, your performance mode, which is 60 FPS, and then they had a higher, like it doesn't say 120 in the game menu, but it does say like a higher frame rate option with a lower resolution. So I'm assuming it's trying to target the 120, but
they won't call it 120 hertz mode if they know it's not consistent. It's not going to hit that mode.
So all of these games got to be patched.
No, it depends. Not really. Not so. People apparently like I learned today that a lot of people don't even know what the hell VRR is and how it works. But to utilize, I don't know how PlayStation's implementing it, but from what I know and from what I'm used to, you don't really need a patch to do it. The only type of patch you would be doing is if you want more games to take advantage of it, you just unlock the frame rate. So yeah, if they could patch a game to unlock the frame rate, so they can allow games to go above whatever the target frame rate was. They can unlock, like for example, let's say if they unlock Bloodborne's frame rate, uncap it from 30, and you play it on PlayStation on a VRR display, they should be able to get. They should easily get 60, but they should be able to get above 60 with VR if they don't put like a cap on that 60, like because you could unlock a frame rate but still have a cap. You unlock the frame rate, have a frame rate run unlocked, but the target is 60, but it runs unlocked. So that means the highest it can go is 60, or you could just have a unlocked frame rate and it can go however high as it can depending on what you're playing on. But having a VRR display, obviously if you have a VRR display, the better it is because it's to help smooth out fluctuating frame rates. The thing about VR is like it's mainly, this is how I look at it, right? I think it's primarily, and I could be wrong, but from just the way it works, it seems like it's for higher frame rates. So when I say higher frame rates above 60, not to say that it doesn't work for games that are 60 FPS. I mean, you benefit from VRR if you're playing a game that's targeting 60 frames per second and it drops in the 50s and whatnot. You're not going to get like the judder. You're not going to get the screen tearing because it smooths all that stuff out. However, it's even more beneficial when you're playing games that are like, you playing a game and you're averaging 80, 90 frames per second or 100 frames per second. That is going to benefit you there because you're not seeing those the judder or frame spikes in that. So I think for a game like Ghostwire Tokyo, since it has that option, because right now from what in reviews, that's not the best option to play in. It's not the preferred mode to play in. But with VR, I'm pretty sure that would change, and then would essentially PlayStation can tap into better performance or higher performance by literally devs, if they want, they can go in and unlock frame rates on their games that they have already released, so that PlayStation can hit higher FPS. Or what they can do is like naturally it'll help games that are let's say like a game like Elden Ring, right? It has a unlocked frame rate, but it has a cap of like 60, so meaning the highest it'll go is 60. When PlayStation enables VR, they'll have a better time with the performance. It'll feel a lot better being that their game. I think Elden Ring, even though it's always fluctuating, it stays at like in the 50s for the most part. So with VRR enabled, that should change the way it feels dramatically. But it's not really a patch. Or you don't really need a patch to take advantage of it. It's just that the games that takes the most advantage of it are games that's going to have unlocked frame rates or games targeting 60 FPS. If your game is 30 frames per second, I mean, it is what it is. I'm curious to see how a game like Ratchet and Clank in their 40 FPS mode will work in it, because essentially what they did is, I forgot how if you have the game in 120 hertz, it runs at 40, but I forgot the method of use, but it feels pretty good running in that mode. But with VRR, I'm just curious, are they able to allow that game to unlock it to see if they can at least get 60 or reach 60 or make it feel close to 60 in that mode. But we'll see. I don't know how PlayStation is enabling it. They did a software solution for their TVs, and there's going to be a software solution on their consoles. On Xbox, the VR first launched in the Xbox One X, and it was a part of the system. And obviously, with the Series X and S, it was a part of the system. So I'm not sure if, how it's going to work, but I'm curious to see how they implement it and what games they use to show it off. But it should be an immediate win with any games that are out now that's targeting 60, that isn't a lock 60. Or games that are 120 FPS on PlayStation that isn't a lock 120 and stuff like that. It's going to help. It's going to help games like Devil May Cry 5. It's going to help games like Warzone and Call of Duty and whatnot. But with that game Neo, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool update. I'm happy that they're getting it, because every time I talked about VR, everybody say, "Oh, Xbox is using it as a crutch." It's not using it; it's a feature. You can't like be mad at a platform for doing what it's intended to do. Take advantage of the features that's in the box. I wish the console would take I wish developers would take more advantage of the capabilities that are in these boxes. But the thing is, I just don't like the way that they approach. People look at it as like is this some sort of crutch that developers decided to use over like optimization, because VRR is going to work regardless if the game is a lock FPS or not. That's just
all right. So I read like 2 articles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Every person is saying like you might want to toggle it off, like in case it might mess up the game if it ain't supported by it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, no, I mean, but that all comes down to how PlayStation or Sony implemented its VR solution. So the thing is because in that case, I mean, by default, our VR is on unless you're not on a VRR capable screen on Xbox, right? So it's not. It can't make your game any worse. And once you plug your freaking PlayStation into a capture card, all that gets disabled anyway, because there's no VR pass through in the capture card. Yeah. So like it can't hurt your game. It's either going to help your game or not. And like I said, if you're somebody going there and you're playing games at 30 frames per second, it's not going to be much of anything, because it doesn't help that. It's not going to help frame drops under 30 FPS. So that's when stuff like, that's why you also got to consider shit like FreeSync, because Xbox also has FreeSync and whatnot. FreeSync. In the system and whatnot. But as far as like if when it comes available, I mean, you would, unless it's like a situation where it's just fucking up the console or fucking up games, you would just, leave it on. I mean, I don't see any reason why you won't have it enabled if you are using a VR display and you're playing the game at high frame rates. I would just leave it on. But we don't know when that's coming. looking forward to the days that it comes because I'm just monitoring right now the I'm checking temperatures of like the responsive to it because people like were saying like ridiculous shit on about it in their arguments against me when it comes to VR and oh well PlayStation doesn't need it because it performs better in the Xbox, over exaggerating everything, but we shall see.
Until the guy from Digital Foundry was like, I'm just gonna play this game on the what game was that?
It was Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Decided to go with the Xbox version because they had VR, and because the thing is that people kept the thing about this is what the issue with Elden Ring, right? People were hyped that Elden Ring was performing better on PlayStation, but the thing is, you would think it was running a locked 60 FPS, but the problem is, its average frame rate was higher, but it was a fluctuating, uneven, even performing game. So it's not like it felt any better or looked any better. Just that the numbers that these guys can see on a screen based on people's tests, they just see higher numbers, so they just assume, oh, this is better. Whereas the series, playing it on the Series X, now to give you a heads up, the performance is like relatively close. It's just that when you're using VRR, it just is, you're not really feeling it unless the game is like crapping down below like if it craps down below like 45 FPS or something like that, you'll see the slowdown or you'll start to feel it. But and that's what I've been trying to explain to people. It's like, sure, you can count. I was like, when they do frame rate tests, even if a game is using VRR, it's not going to hide the frame rate count. It's just that the user is just not going to be impacted. My favorite thing about VRR, honestly, is more so is screen tearing. I don't know if a game has screen tearing unless I plug it in my capture card. That's when we'll see screen tearing, is when I plug it in my capture card. If a game has screen tearing, I won't know it if it's plugged directly in my monitor or if it's plugged directly into my TV. But once I plug that shit into my capture card, where I'm just capturing raw footage and that VRR gets disabled and shit like that, you'll see and feel the frame drops. You'll see the screen tearing if it's actually dropping like crazy and whatnot. But
gotcha.
But what else did we got? We got the Suicide Squad was delayed to spring 2023. Logan, what you think of this, man? I know that.
I guess I don't really find it that shocking. Nor am I really that upset with it because we are getting Gotham Knights at the end of October.
Yes.
So it's like if you want your Batman kind of DC universe fix, I mean, you're gonna get the game Gotham Knights in October, and then in spring you're going to get Suicide Squad. So I think that's actually going to like even it out a little bit for each game to kind of get their own time and own glory to shine a little bit. So honestly, I'm not upset. I think any game that gets delayed, as long as it comes out good, is fine with me because there's going to be tons to play. So it's like don't make it in a rush, make it good the first time, and don't do a Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
Oh, well, it's just, but then like as long as Gotham Knight stays on track, I think if Gotham Knight gets pushed back to next year, then I think it's going to be a little awkward.
Yeah, I think WB had an obviously internal goal to release 3 major games, this year in terms where you got to consider Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad, and then Hogwarts Legacy. Actually, don't they got the Lego game as well? Lego Star Wars?
Is that Warner Brothers?
I believe that's Warner Brothers. I mean, Surge Rated Great, if you're still in the chat, I'm pretty sure he can.
I don't know who's.
I believe WB is publishing. I know they own a studio that does those games. So,
see, I didn't even know that. I just thought it was a Teller's Tale studio.
Yeah. So Nick, what's your thoughts on the Suicide Squad delay?
I mean, right now, we could use a game like. I don't really care,
right.
man.
It is published by Warner Brothers, Lego Star Wars. Yep, you're right.
So they
I really don't care about that. Bro, I ain't gonna lie.
You ain't gonna play Suicide Squad 4-player co-op?
I'm not. I don't know, man. Before Spider-Man, these hero, these games wasn't really that good with Batman. I really don't expect.
You didn't think the Batman games
superhero? No, I'm saying Batman was the only one before Spider-Man. So it's like,
well, yeah, but
we
this
just
is
really
like, so like when you look at Gotham Knights is made by what, Rocksteady, right? Rocksteady,
yeah, I don't know, man.
or is hold on, or is that I'm thinking of Suicide Squad? I think Suicide Squad is being done by Rocksteady.
Yeah, Gotham Knights is different.
I think Gotham Knights is
But I think hold on.
hold on. So Suicide Squad is Rocksteady for sure. Gotham Knights is
the Montreal. They're the ones that did Batman Arkham Origins, which was a solid game too.
Okay.
I believe. I wait to see it, man. I don't even think Avengers was a bad game like everybody. The way they talk about Avengers, I don't think it was bad. I actually liked it. Yeah, they dropped the bag on how to monetize it and manage the story and everything, but that's not easy, as we can see. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm gonna wait for it though. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Baron asks, is Suicide Squad is current gen only? I don't think so. I think it's coming to last gen as well. I think all those games are like
it's definitely coming to last gen.
Hold on. I thought it was next gen only.
Really?
What? Suicide Squad or the
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, it's Suicide Squad's next gen only.
Oh, PS5, so that one. All right, so one of them is next gen only.
Series consoles and PC. Yep.
Okay. All right. I mean, then that's like that makes sense. As far as that one being delayed. I mean, at this point they have the room. It just sucks because WB as a whole hasn't really been able to release anything over the last couple years. So it's like their timelines all came out around the same time they released majority of stuff. Because remember, the Lego game was also delayed like multiple times. I think that shit was supposed to come out in like 2020.
They announced that forever ago.
Yeah. Like I'm curious to see what pushed that game back. Like, but yeah, if Gotham Knights keep its release date, and obviously in Hogwarts Legacy, if they can keep that in the holiday, I mean, I think they're would be in good shape. And then spring, and I mean, the thing about spring is just it's very vague because spring is anywhere honestly from March to like June, for the release window. So that could Suicide Squad could literally be like a like a mid-June game. If we're like being honest and whatnot, but that does give them a window of time to do it. I honestly wanted to see more on like Suicide Squad to see what it is, but it's like the crazy thing is, didn't we see more gameplay of Suicide Squad than Gotham Knights?
Nah.
They only showed, I think, the one little gameplay of Suicide Squad. Remember they had a
we saw Gotham Knights first. That's what it was. We saw the gameplay of Gotham Knights first.
Yeah, we seen it first.
Yeah. But then they would start talking a whole lot about like Suicide Squad, and then Gotham Knights started to get brought up again. But yeah, I do want to see more of Gotham Knights. Speaking of, what are y'all thoughts of the Hogwarts Legacy showing?
For me, I thought it looked good, but it almost looked like one of those games that, man, I kind of wish had like a co-op mode to it.
Why so?
You and your friends, like, because I think it'd be kind of cool if like you and your friends, you pick your houses or whatever, and like go, because like you have companions in that game. Like they're saying, yeah, we don't have any plans for any type of co-op, but you have like your companions. So I imagine you're probably gonna have two of them right with you, which would make like perfect for like a 3-player co-op game. And I just think it'd be kind of, I kind of liked like those older Harry Potter games. I'm trying to think of which one. I can't remember which one I played, but like I liked being able to go through and explore Hogwarts and do like the different classes and stuff. And seeing this one looks like way more detailed and way more, it's not like tied to a movie.
Yeah.
Like the potential for this game is going to be hopefully a lot better than what like the movie tie-ins were. So I'm pumped with it. It looks well polished. Like the gameplay looks really good. So I just hope it sticks with that look and feel at launch when it comes out.
Yeah. This is so they're targeting holiday this year. It was shown on under PlayStation. I don't know if this was announced before or after the podcast, because I don't know if we talked about this or not. But it was shown via
Nick. You change your number every other month.
Nick.
What the hell Nick doing?
Nick, mute.
Dominic.
What is he doing? We got a rogue agent over here.
Nick, mute.
With the same profile picture.
Nick,
mute.
Nick, what are you doing?
Oh shit.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah, we showed that the state of play. So that cost now. That had me asking questions. So I'm like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna make this game exclusive. What was the exclusive content in it being in the blog post? Because I didn't read the blog post afterwards.
I didn't see anything on it. I didn't go read the blog post. I just watched the state of play, and I was like, because I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
Oh, okay.
Could have been that big because I didn't see anybody really talking about it.
Yeah.
Because like everybody was talking about like before the state of play, they're like, "Oh, what's this mean? What's this mean?" Because I think people were thinking it was gonna be like a timed exclusive or something for PlayStation.
Yeah, because in their blog post when they announced the state of play, they was like, "Stay tuned for our blog shortly after the show." Yeah, it was like something like, "Okay, so what are you gonna say?"
Read a little too far into that.
Yeah, I did. I thought they were gonna pull some BS. But this game was used heavily against Xbox's upcoming Starfield. Any thoughts to why?
I honestly I don't know. I think it's kind of like the same realm where people use Elden Ring against Horizon Forbidden West. None of it makes sense.
Yeah,
because you're comparing a third-party title that's available on all platforms to a first-party title that's only available on one, and I kind of think that those are always not fair comparisons, especially when you want to try to throw like sales out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Generally speaking, anything that's available on all platforms is always going to outperform anything that's on one platform. That's just logic.
Yeah, at least it should.
Yeah, like it should. If it doesn't, then there's something wrong with that game. I mean, if it doesn't, unless you're just the Nintendo Switch and you just sell games no matter what, if it's only on that one platform, and it'll oversell anything that's on anything. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's because part of it's to do is the lack of, I guess, gameplay or really big showings of of the game. Like we got that little snippet of a in-game robot.
Yeah.
That I don't personally consider that gameplay. While the game looks good, and if that's in engine, if that's what the game's gonna look like, hey, I'm all set because this is for next gen systems only, not gonna be available on Xbox One. So it's hopefully gonna be a good next gen game from them. But we just need to see more of the game, be able to judge it, because you got Harry Potter came out with that showcasing and showed the gameplay, the look, the feel, how the game's going to run on next gen systems, and so on and so forth, and it looked good. So I think that's just why everybody, I guess, doesn't have faith in Starfield being anything good this fall, because there's just nothing being shown for it yet.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And I do understand the how Horizon was treated when Elden Ring came out. I know that was Elden Ring was was taking or was allegedly taking Horizon's thunder, and so the turnaround was the Hogwarts Legacy. So that it makes sense. But as far as Starfield now, I understand wanting to see the gameplay and whatnot. I want to see it as well, but I just my thing was about it. I don't mind these mini docu series that they're doing. It's just literally these updates that they've been doing, by the way. So my thing is like I don't expect them to drop a world premiere gameplay on a random Wednesday. I know not to expect that. So it's like that's why I'm like, well, why are we acting surprised or like upset as if we don't know how Bethesda operates when they show their game. We know when they're showing this game, even if they don't tell us next week or so. We know when they're showing us this game. They're going to show it at E3.
Yep.
Now, Starfield was a little bit unorthodox because their previous games, we usually see the game.
And then within X amount of time, it's out.
Yeah, So I think Starfield was a change of pace from that, but I think they did that for a couple reasons, right? A couple years ago, because Bethesda used to have their own like E3 showcases. I went to one of them and whatnot. Just the last one that they had, I guess they didn't really have a lot, you know what I mean, to show. So they needed those announcements just to generate buzz from the E3 showcases. So when they initially announced like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, they just use like little JPEGs or image,
like
moving
basically
image.
just like a little image, like title image. Basically.
Yeah, title image. That's how they used it. I think, and that was back in 2018 maybe. So 2018 or 2019 is one of those years. They did that, but I understood why they showed Starfield or what they have of Starfield this year is because it was the first year under the Xbox umbrella, and they wanted to, show that they had something big for Xbox. They wanted to premiere, and Xbox obviously was riding on the collaboration with Bethesda, and to make that show feel like this is like a we thing, not us thing, and then I think they needed something like big to show. So that's what I think because I feel like if they weren't owned by Xbox or anything like that, I don't even think Starfield, we get an update on Starfield if they even was going to have a showcase. But I felt like because it was that first year they announced a joint show and whatnot, they obviously showed Starfield, at least the pretty much in the game, the in-engine stuff, and then we're gonna get that that special Todd Howard gameplay demo that he does. They're gonna give Todd Howard 15 minutes of stage time on Starfield alone at their showcase. I already know. I expect a 90-minute, just over 90-minute showcase, and then Todd Howard's getting 15 of those minutes to demo the game, and I think that would be good enough.
Probably their closing too, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it'll be closing. It'll be exactly how they did Forza Horizon, right? But technically Redfall closed the show, but Forza Horizon was like the
last big showcase.
The last big showcase, and it was done with gameplay, right? They were demoing the game. I think Todd Howard gets that moment, but I don't know if they're gonna have an in-person event, but I do think at whatever stage setup, he's gonna come out and he's gonna play the game. He wants to be shown playing the game or talking about the game while it's being played or something like that. So I think they'll have a special. I think the game's gonna be special for the simple fact that when you watch these little docuseries that they're doing, it's the general excitement that him and the other developers of the game have when talking about the game. You know what I mean? It's just like the game, even though it's obviously it's Todd Howard, it's Bethesda. The game is still actually under the radar for some reason. You know what I mean? It's under the radar, and I think this game is going to hit big. I think it's going to hit big. So I'm looking forward to see how that all turns out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is going to be, as long as it keeps its release date, and that's just the one thing I'm just like, I know Bethesda's got that way is 11/11.
Yeah, 11/11/22.
Their kind of like thing. As long as it keeps that release date, like that's going to be huge for them. So I imagine, E3 we're going to see something, a big little showcase showing the gameplay, showing it being run off it, and then you're going to see obviously after that showcase they're going to probably have a little bit more in-depth developer diaries that actually show off probably more in-game stuff as come through the year. Developer diaries aren't bad things. It's just showing that, hey, this is our progress on the game, this is what we're working on, this is where we're at with it. Mm-hmm. It's just I think people are just wanting a gameplay, and I mean that's understandable, but it's like it's not like in November the game's going to release with no gameplay shown.
Yeah.
Like that's why the one thing I don't understand that I think people need to like chill and relax and just let them show the gameplay when they're ready to show it. Let them build up their, this is, Bethesda's first brand new IP, them making themselves, and who knows what was it? I think it was, they said basically this has been the game that they've been working to build since they've been around, right?
Yeah.
This has been something that's been back there. So obviously, like, that has a lot of weight to them, and it means a lot to them to show it how they want to show it and make sure everything's perfect in showing, because it's gonna have to launch with that's the one thing. It's like it's not gonna be able to launch with the Bethesda bugs that we're used to knowing for certain games to have. Everything's gonna have to be polished, or if it launches in like the state of like Fallout 3 and New Vegas and stuff. Well, obviously those games were great and stuff, but they had your typical Bethesda bugs.
Yeah,
hopefully,
Bethesda
hopefully they've learned to not have those bugs in their game and work on really getting that game polished, so it's like the best experience for us as a players on day one, not
I think
Elder Scrolls is pretty good.
I think all their games are pretty good, but even despite all those bugs, all their games have been nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the games are still absolutely great, but you just know the reception from people, because this is going to be, the first big exclusive title to Xbox, right, from Bethesda, that it's going to be under a microscope, and it's going to get scrutinized from top to bottom, since it's not a platform game anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a multi-platform game. It's not available on all platforms. So just because it's got the name Xbox tied to it, people are going to hold it to a whole standard.
I think is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen.
What's that?
I think this game, if everything hits right, I think this game still is Game of the Year from Elden Ring.
But it launches outside of
November. What's the thing? Because trust me, they will. What's the I know they tried to use that lame ass excuse for Forza Horizon 5, but it was clear that Forza Horizon 5 launched within the window. So they just
it's a racing game.
They do the voting, I want to say, on the 15th of November.
All right, and Starfield comes out on the 11th. You got to think.
Yeah, you're gonna only have four days.
Copies, you got to think about review copies. They're gonna get review copies about a game like that 2 weeks in advance. They'll get so that would already from there on. Same thing with Forza Horizon. Review copies were out well in advance of any sort of voting embargo. So you got to think, if Starfield, if they hold true, which I think they're gonna hold true, they announced that date a whole 18 months in advance. So that means and the game was supposed to be like, I guess, launched in 2021, but they got that extra time to do what they're gonna do with the game. But if you consider the fact that if the game launches November 11th, right, journalists and all the media is gonna get access to the game. Probably, it's usually a game like that. They're going to give them like 8 to 10 days in advance. They're going to get that game, depending on how big. It all depends on how big the game is or how long they expect players the average time to get through the game, so people can get an appropriate review out. And you consider a game like that, they're going to have.
They're going to need a lot of time. It's going to be a
November 11th. November 11th is on a Friday. So that means people are going to get the game probably late October, and they're going to have like a full 2 weeks or so with the game. I think that's more than enough to be able to nominate. I think if review copies are available like that, if the review copies is available well in advance of the Game of the Year voting, your game should be able to get nominated and whatnot, and I think that's a possibility. But we'll see. But I think if anything is going to steal Game of the Year from Elden Ring, I do think it's going to be Starfield. And I know I'm saying this without seeing any sort of gameplay or anything like that, but
playing any previews.
You're playing any previews. I'm just going based off checking the the temperature. But if the game hits right. Think about it. Psychonauts 2 almost won Game of the Year. It literally almost won Game of the Year. Well, I can't even say it almost won, but it got nominated.
Right, you don't know the valleys and stuff, man.
But we will see. We will see though. Apparently Contraband was targeting 2022 and was internally delayed to 2023.
I didn't even know they put a 2022.
What is that game?
They didn't put any time frame, but I think the internal, according to some leaks and rumors and speculation, internally they were targeting 2022 for the release of the game, because it's further along than what we,
because we all we got was that little trailer.
That CGI thing, that little trailer. So, but that's being, so we should get another update on that game this year with a release date next year. But you also got to consider, we've already saw like two different types. We already saw like Redfall, right? Even though we didn't see it in the presentation state, right? They showed us a CGI last year, and they announced summer 2022. But shortly after that, they had like some old ass alpha test footage, not footage, but screenshots that got leaked, and people was like, the power of the X and all that other bullshit.
But then recently, like the beta stuff get leaked.
Yeah, the beta got leaked like a couple weeks ago. It looks a shit ton better, and that was like, off screen, like a picture of a picture.
I'm just like curious because so that they haven't delayed that, right? Is it still on track for summer?
No. So there has been no delay or anything like that. Any delay you heard related to that game has been sort of like rumors and what people are expecting.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like summer's like right around. It's just a couple months away.
Yeah,
I mean 3 months. So unless they somehow plan to do like a shadow drop on that game,
they ain't doing.
I would think we would need to see something on it soon. Right?
Absolutely. If the game
if they shadow dropped it at E3 or something like that,
I don't think they do that.
Would be huge.
I think they.
You think?
I don't think they shadow drop it.
Here's Redfall. Oh, and by the way, you can play it right now.
Let's say no. They won't do that with a game like that. They're gonna they want to get. They're not gonna do that.
Would be huge.
It would be huge, but it won't give the turnout that they need. It's not like you can do that with like a known game. You can't do that with like a new IP. I think, all right, if Xbox has their show late May, early June, I think that we'll get the game in August, early September, because that would allow, the amount 3 months of legit marketing of the game. If the game's coming out like in June, right, you would have to say like at least what would happen is if the game was to come out in June, right, or July, right? Because I don't know when the Xbox show is. I don't know if it's in June or I don't know if it's in May.
Is it not? Are they not doing E3 this year?
No, they're doing a showcase this year. I just don't know when it's going to take place. 'Cause remember, last year it took place in it took place in July, and then
they were at E3 though, right?
Yeah, it was E3, but it wasn't. It was the digital thing, the Xbox Bethesda game showcase. It took place in
but that was in part of E3.
Yeah, but didn't E3 cancel itself?
No, there was a whole group of people that was at. It was a whole week. It was still on all digital showcase, but Xbox was like one of the forerunners there that was like pushing E3.
Oh yeah. Last year, I'm saying, but this year didn't they cancel E3?
I don't think.
I could have sworn they canceled. I could have sworn they canceled it.
Because I thought this year was actually gonna be a in-person event. No.
I gotta look at it. If it's E3, right? Let's say if E3 is not canceled and they're doing E3, then it's gonna be mid-June, early to mid-June. That's what's gonna be. But if there's no E3, then that date is solely up to Xbox and Bethesda, and they can target May, they can target June. Hell, they can target July because 2021 show I feel like was in July, and their 2020 showcase was in freaking August or some shit like that. It was something crazy. So I think if Xbox does a show early June, right? The game still potentially comes out like late August, September, gives them a couple months to do some proper, marketing and tease it and some previews. However, if the game's supposed to come out in June or July, then I think we got to start looking at April for IGN and GameSpots and Game Informer to get that whole preview tour, the media tour, where they just send the game out and then the outlets will be responsible for pretty much the rollout of the game. And then the game, has its launch if the game's going to come out before or shortly after the Xbox Game Showcase. But if we're not going to see the game before the Xbox Game Showcase, then the game is coming out sometime in September. But the thing I worry about. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say the 2022 E3 is still all digital event. I just was looking through it.
Cool.
It is.
Yeah, still all digital event. I thought they were going to physical this year.
Damn, I thought we was going. Yeah, man.
Thought COVID was over.
I think, but the thing is, here's where I get. Here's the thing where things get tricky, right? Because Deathloop still has to come to Xbox, and its exclusivity ends like mid September 14th or some shit like that, right? So my thing is,
they don't spend as much time marketing that game as they did for PlayStation.
We
don't need to know. They just need to do a quick little thing. Oh, by the way, it's coming on Xbox.
I have a theory on what's going to happen with Deathloop. So the thing is, I don't know if do you launch Deathloop and Redfall in the same month as like, you know, an Arcane Game Pass month or some shit like that. I don't know. But the thing is that the Deathloop is going to have like a relaunch on Xbox, because if you pay attention, you know how AMD is partnered with Deathloop for was it Fidelity FX 2.0?
Yeah.
2.0,
yeah. I saw that today.
So and we know they also announced that Xbox is going to be supporting the game. I think Deathloop is going to be the first game to launch with it, since they're testing the mode out on Deathloop on AMD cards, and we know the Xbox Series X is AMD based. When they're able to announce the game, they're going to be able to boast that Deathloop runs and looks better on Xbox Series X because it's using Fidelity FX, it's using the DLS pretty much alternative FSR, I think that's what it's called, to boost the resolution up. They're gonna have like a high frame rate mode likely on it, and they're gonna be able to, you know, to generate some hype around the game, and the game's gonna have like another look, and it's gonna be able to look best and play best. They're gonna tout that on Xbox. They're gonna be able to do that because they're gonna have those new RDNA 2 features in the game, and it only makes sense that they're using Deathloop. It's an AMD feature, and we know that feature is coming to Xbox Series X and S, and that game still has to launch on Xbox Series X. We don't know what game's going to use that feature, but we know Deathloop is definitely using that feature. Would it make sense that they use that feature exclusively on PC while announcing that feature on Xbox Series X, and that game still has to come to Xbox Series X? So that's my theory. It comes out September with that feature, and it's going to look pretty good. I like Deathloop. I thought it was a dope game, so I played it and beat it on the PlayStation 5, and I'll do the same thing on the Series X. So
yeah, I see a lot of PlayStation dudes don't like that game, bro.
Nah, you know the funny thing about PlayStation, right, dudes, right? Because it's like they're in like this thing with these games where to give credit. Do they take credit for the game because it's a PS5 exclusive, or do they dismiss it because it's like it's weird? Like, for example, Deathloop, they wanted to take credit for it before, they didn't because of the previews. But when the reviews came out, they wanted to get credit. It was a PlayStation 5 exclusive, got nominated for the Game of the Year. We want to take credit for it, right? Now, Ghostwire Tokyo comes out. Even though it looks fine to me, I'm interested in it, but the reviews isn't up to their standard. So now it's Xbox garbage. Even though it's a PS5 exclusive, they don't want to take credit for it right now. So it's weird, but I'm looking forward to Ghostwire Tokyo. I do want to play it. I think it looks cool. Logan, I'm gonna obviously talk to you a little bit more about it, because is the game scary, or is it like because the Grudge looking characters be kind of like tripping
like a
out.
Fear too?
No, it's not like, I wouldn't put it in like a super scary like category.
Mm-hmm.
There is some like Japanese kind of horror elements. When you're doing like super like certain side missions and stuff, like when you go into like enclosed areas. So like I wouldn't classify it as like a horror game, but it does have like some horror elements to it. Because when you look at it, this game from Tango DreamWorks, it was gonna be The Evil Within 3. And you can kind of like, I say, if you like The Evil Within, dude, you're gonna love this. It's got kind of the same kind of like a little bit of a kind of same feel. Obviously, it's in first person, so that like your combat's different, especially with your magic abilities and stuff. But it's not like super horror, like grotesque, as I would say like The Evil Within But like the city's beautiful. Like I'm absolutely like enjoying just walking through like Tokyo, and just like I don't know, it's so colorful, vibrant. There's like music playing down through all the streets, but then it also has like a very like eerie kind of feeling to it because there is no other human survivors, right? It's all these weird, I'm like coming through like these different weird monsters with like these like Slenderman looking dude with like these umbrellas that's like just slowly walking to you, and they just decide, I'm gonna start attacking you. And then like you got like these like kind of like looks like a schoolgirl, like a Japanese like schoolgirl with like no head running around, and it's just very like creepy, like walking through the streets. But then it's also beautiful at the same time. One of the things I noticed like right off the bat was the DualSense features on the PlayStation 5 controller. I think they did a really good job because like when it starts raining in the city, like you like instantly get like that feedback from the controller. So I was like, wow, that's like that was like super like kudos to that. I thought that was a great job with controller, uh, features and stuff being implemented in the game. The combat, my only thing with the game so far, is like the combat's like your movements and stuff is like a little stiff. There's like a lot of like first person games that are, like you look at Mirror's Edge, Call of Duty, like Dying Light, where things are a little bit smoother with the combat and the platforming ability and stuff, because you'll be kind of jumping up on buildings and climbing ladders and stuff. The Those abilities in the game's just a little stiff, so it takes a little getting used to because it's not super fluid. But man, I'm just like going through and trying to like clear the map, do all the side missions, find all the collectibles, which the collectibles have like some references to other like Japanese horror like stuff. Like there was like it's not a spoiler or anything, but I found like an old cassette tape, which is obviously from like The Ring. They had like a little description about that. Or if you played the Evil Within 2, you find the serial killer's camera. So like finding like that stuff and like recognizing where those like collectibles are actually from was kind of cool too. So it's like making me want to go through. Of course, the most important thing is you can pet and feed dogs in the game. That's a very great feature. Shout out to the devs for putting the most important part of a game in there. Got to feed the dogs, pet them and stuff, give them love. And but yeah, no, I'm loving it. I'm still only on. I'm five. I think when I saved before the podcast, I'm like 5 hours in, and I'm on chapter 2 still. Just because I've been going through, and like it's got like your kind of like Assassin's Creed type map, right? You got your points that you can unlock that expose side missions and collectible points on the map, and then you can kind of go through. So I'm like going through and like clearing the map basically, and trying to do all the side missions, because the side missions are actually like really interesting, and each of them are like different and unique. So I'm actually like liking to go and do the side missions. So I haven't really done a lot of the main missions because of that. But I'd say, I mean, I love it. It's definitely my type of game. And yeah, I was like, that's why I don't ever look at reviews, because like so far I'm like, this is like easy like a played, and like it's like at a 75, and I'm like, that's why I don't look at reviews. I don't care about them. I just play the games.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Reviews, like, I have my double takes on them. Like, cause I like a lot of the games I like. They're not like most of the games I like. They're not the highest rated games on by any stretch of the imagination. So that's why when I saw the review score comes in for Ghostwire Tokyo, it didn't like make me flinch or anything, because I like what I saw in some of the gameplay. I saw BG play it. He put a preview up and a review up. I saw the IGN review and whatnot. I just like that. I don't know if it's just the hand gestures or like the combat just looks like it will be like really fun to indulge in.
Yeah, the combat so far, I got I think three different abilities. So you have your main one that you get kind of right off the bat, where you're shooting like the green little lasers. It's just kind of your standard attack. But then I have like where you can shoot like a big fireball. I got that ability, and then now I just recently unlocked this ability to like I got the water one where you can basically shoot like a big thing of water at people, and then there's this other ability where you can slow down enemies, and like it like stops it. It's like an area effect that will like trap an enemy and like kind of shock them and stop them in place. That you can throw, and then there is a bow and arrow, but I haven't really used a bow and arrow that much because it doesn't seem to be like super effective towards what your other powers. But I might just not have it like because you can upgrade all your abilities. You can upgrade and do like different charge attacks and stuff, and so it has like a lot of stuff that you can do with your different skill trees and upgrading. So maybe if I upgrade my bow, it might be a little bit more useful. But yeah, like the combat is actually like super fun, and it's like with all the bright colors and stuff popping off, it's definitely an enjoyment to watch, like because there's like stuff going on all over the screen.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I like the whole colorful, explosions and stuff like that. That show up. But yeah, I do gotta get it. You know what I mean? The only thing is that I've been trying to. How can I say this? I've been trying to tame myself in terms of just buying games and whatnot, and then not having an opportunity to like start them, and trying to just get through a game, at a time. But like I said, Ghostwire Tokyo is definitely on the list. I have interest. At first, I had zero interest in it because I was like, I don't want to play a horror game, especially in first person and that stuff. But the more I saw it, the more intrigued that I got from it, and I was like, you know what, maybe I will give that game a run at some point. But I'm happy that you're liking it and whatnot.
Yeah, no, but it's definitely my obsession right now. So I ended up taking a vacation day for Monday because I was like, I want to sink some time into this game. So I'm going to be playing it all weekend.
Wow. Okay. Fable. There was an update to Fable. A developer came out. I guess this developer worked at both Ninja Theory and Playground, and he worked on combat for Hellblade 2, and he worked on
what was he working on
for Fable.
It sounds like to me he's like a Q&A guy or something.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure which is exact role. I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna Google this right quick and try to see if I can find the link to the article.
Yeah, because I read that article because I was like, what are they talking about? So I went and read it, and that's all it really said like about it. Like he was like, well, he made a comment like, yeah, they working really hard. Or, I'm like, every studio works hard.
Yeah, let me. I got a paragraph I got a couple quotes from him. It says, hold on, before it's from WCCF Tech. It was like game designer Juan Fernandez has bounced around from various studios, including Rhyme developer Tequila Works, Hellblade creators, Ninja Theory, and a stint at Playground Games where he worked on the new Fable. Perhaps unsurprisingly, in an interview in his translation, so give it that. So let's see what he has to say. He says, Playground is very organized and production driven. Every 2 years, they put out a Forza Horizon, which has more than 90 on Metacritic, with incredible quality. They have taken racing games and they've dominated them the last few years. They're very smart and they know what they're doing. They wanted to branch out with something different, and they thought that what they do well is open world racing games, but they lack the people with the knowledge of how gameplay is done. In an open world, how you control a character and the actions are very different from what you have in a racing game. At the technology level, you have to develop animation, scripting, a quest system. Moving in a car at 300 kmh has very different requirements than walking through a countryside. So, I mean, the thing is that the way that this was reported was extremely poor, bad with people straight next. You would think there was people reporting it like there's trouble at Playground, they're slow to develop and stuff like that. What he was literally saying is they've been doing Forza Horizon for so long, and they mastered it. They wanted to branch out and do, you know, an RPG game. But the thing is, everybody that obviously works at Playground, they specialize in making Forza Horizon racing games. They now need to develop a racing game. To develop an RPG game is different from what we do in racing, which obviously we know that. We've seen Guerrilla Games do first-person shooters this entire time, and then finally branch off and do an RPG. It took them a little while, but they got it done. So it's like the way that people treated these quotes were just like so misleading. So he also continues, action RPG open worlds are incredibly complicated to do. They take a lot of time, a lot of people, and in Playground, they have the mentality of doing more with less. That if Assassin's Creed is done by 5,000 people, they will have 150 to 200. And they do. Assassin's Creed in 7 years, they do Fable in 5. It's good to be ambitious, but you also have to be realistic. And what I saw is that development was getting longer and longer. So his thought is that, sure, Playground's not going to hire 5,000 people. And the reason why Ubisoft has so many different people, because they got multiple different studios making Assassin's Creeds. Like, the same people that made Odyssey isn't the same team that made Origins. And same thing with Valhalla. Like, they have multiple different studios. So it's not really a fair comparison.
Yeah.
So
and then for a guy that's bouncing from studio to studio,
yeah.
like,
So he's
you don't even.
He's only seeing portions of it, and even though, like, I just don't like when people take this and they just assume the worst. So they said it's about 150 to 200 people. Okay, and it's going to take Fable, like, it's going to take a development cycle. They're not dumb.
He wasn't even the lead design, bro. Like, this is probably one of them, you know, contractors, I guess.
I mean, yeah, when you consider all the studios that he worked for, I think he was also the same dude that said like Hellblade 2 combat is like next level or something like that. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But Fable, like I said, I can't wait to see it. They got a lot of good people on that team. I know David Springate has went over there. As soon as EA had acquired Codemasters, he jumped to Xbox and went to Playground Games. So we're looking forward. I'm looking forward to see what they're cooking up with. There's a question from Slayer Phantom Knight. He says, "Kiss Move. Who do you think is going to fall from grace from getting arrogant in the 10th generation?" So we're in Gen 9, right? Arrogant. Who's gonna? Yeah. I think Nintendo, because I think PlayStation arrogance is starting to hit them, even though they're still popular and whatnot, and people are still buying it. Their games obviously are still good. I think maybe I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I don't know if anyone repeats themselves. So the thing is that right now all parties are very healthy. Xbox is doing healthy. Nintendo is crazy healthy, and PlayStation is rather healthy. Right now, we're looking at a situation where everybody's successful in doing what they do. We got some like, other than the Switch. I mean, I have a couple Switches here, but my kids use them. I don't really use it, so I don't really consider myself a Switch user. But between like Xbox and PlayStation, they're both incredible consoles. I just like my Xbox more, and I think I'm looking forward to more of what Xbox has coming and what they're doing than I am of PlayStation. PlayStation has some games and stuff coming as I expect them to do, but I don't know if anybody's just I can't see anybody being super like arrogant, because right now Xbox is not really in a position, because it's not like Game Pass is riding high at 100 million subscribers, right? You could be worried about them because, they hit that number, and then they, want to raise the price, and then they want to shorten the time span of certain games in the service and stuff like that. Like, you would get worried about things like that. You have PlayStation, like I said, we're seeing them like kind of step on their own foot here and there and whatnot. Some people choose to ignore it. because it's tribalism, but we'll see. I think it's going to be an interesting race this gen. So like right now, I don't really care what happens Gen 10, but Gen 9 right now, I'm curious to see how this all plays out. So a couple things is taking place. So the game, the Ascent is coming to PlayStation, isn't it, this week?
Yep.
Yeah.
They sent.
Oh, PlayStation advertising it.
Yeah. So that's the Ascent. Obviously, it came out on the Xbox last July. It was a day one Game Pass title. I beat the game. However, the game still has a broken side mission where I can't do the scrapland, and that's literally holding me away from my 100% completion. But I played the crap out of that game, enjoyed it. I played a little bit with you, Old Man, right?
Yeah,
we some co-op.
We did a decent chunk of co-op.
Yeah, I dropped that.
I think that's what messed up my save was playing it in co-op.
Yeah,
I can't earn achievements anymore once I play co-op unless I've been waiting for them to patch it and it still hasn't gotten patched.
Yeah, they did all these patches and I still can't so that's my only beef with the game. I was like, I don't know if I'll play it again on PlayStation. I mean, it will be a platinum I would love to chase if it has it working on PlayStation. But comes out if you're not on Xbox, if you're not subscribed to Game Pass, the game's coming out on PlayStation. I think it's what, $30-$40.
30.
Buy it. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. It was the only Cyberpunk game I needed in 2021. Like since I couldn't.
And it was one of those games like how you talked about earlier. It didn't review that well.
It was like a 60. It's like a 60 meta.
I think it's like a 67 right now. Yeah. And I love that game, dude. I had so much fun playing that game. I played with I played co-op with you. I had a lot of fun. I played with Robbie Fox.
Yep, I played with Robbie as well. Yep,
had a hell of a lot of fun time with that game, and I was like, dude, this is like 67 on Metacritic. Like, come on. I was like,
yeah, I just think
I still have fun.
Yeah, I didn't understand that score because as far as it was a really nice game. I didn't understand what was wrong with it. Like I said, the only issue I had with it obviously is me not being able to get my 100% achievements. But as far as the game, even the story, I thought was dope, man. Like the ending was dope. Like the some of the boss fights were pretty dope. The gameplay it's just different from that angle. I feel like they mastered third person gameplay. RPG, in that genre, it was weird though, but it worked and I thought it was dope. So like I'm always open to play that game. And so if anybody on Xbox, if you have the accent, you didn't beat it, and you want some help, I'd play.
Hit me and Smooth Up. I'd play too.
Yeah, I still play that game. So. But so that's coming to PlayStation in March, and a major PlayStation 5 exclusive is coming to Xbox on April 7th. It was major, bro. Bro, this was the game that made you remember. You know what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm about to say. Game Awards 2019. Jeff Keighley didn't seem impressed after the shocking Xbox Series X announcement, but you know what he was hyped about? The first showcase of a PlayStation 5 game. You know what that game was? It was Godfall.
God.
It was Godfall. Oh. So I remember my arguments. I'm like, so this is going to be PlayStation 5 only? This better, and it's going to take full advantage of this better be the best looking game on a platform for years to come. If that's the case. So, Godfall comes out at launch of PlayStation. It's probably the worst game at launch. It did look good, and it's weird because it looked good in sections, and in some cases it didn't. The game I bought it. Why did I buy it? I bought it.
Yeah, man.
Played a little bit.
$70.
I paid the $70.
No. I didn't play 75. I got it on sale because I bought it. This is when I had a physical PlayStation because I got a disc copy from Best Buy. So I got it, but I got it on sale. It was like the game went on sale like fairly early. So got it, played a little bit of it. I was like, yeah, I don't like this shit. And I just kind of left it alone. But now, first it came to PlayStation 4, so that kind of exposed the lies they were telling about this game. And then it's coming to Xbox Series XS One in Steam April 7th, and it's going to support VR and Dolby Vision on the Xbox consoles, which I'm curious to see. Like, now the funny thing is, this was a $70 game, the $70 launch title, and I think it's launching on Xbox for like 30 or 40 bucks.
Does it come with the expand?
Yeah, it comes with everything. Comes with everything.
Man, that's a slap in everybody's faces.
You know what, Smooth, man? I hope everybody learned their lesson. This SSD with the I/O throughput and the RDNA, and even with Xbox, man, dudes need to just stop this right now, bro. Like we both.
Well, they shot themselves in the foot when they did the whole marketing for that. They're like, this game could only be powered by the PlayStation 5, right? And now,
I mean, all of it later,
2 years later, you're looking at Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the Series consoles.
Yo, they said the same thing for Spider-Man when it first was shown, bro. Like all of this stuff. Like, and I ain't even just saying PlayStation, man. The way they market these new consoles, we should sue all these.
Sue them all. Damn.
Yeah, like I feel like PlayStation overmarketed their SSD, Xbox overmarketed their 12 T-Flops because
superpowers.
Yeah, it's extremely funny because the thing is like there's more than enough games, in contention that the PlayStation is holding its own and in even cases beating the Xbox in some of these performance comparisons, and then there's more than enough of Xbox loading games faster than the PlayStation, or holding its own against it. It's like, bro, like what the hell? Like it's like, so the thing is like I went into this generation expecting games to launch a shit ton faster on PlayStation, and then we got some small examples of it, like because I think Elden Ring and GTA are like the best examples of like multiply games, if I'm not mistaken, that does it. But you can literally count those on your fingers, and and I expected, for example, higher resolutions or higher frame rates on Xbox. Now I still hold to that in certain cases because there is a caveat on why Xbox games by default has more games running at a higher frame rate, and nobody don't want to allow me to use that, but they want to go and run towards Grand Theft Auto, but not allow me to use games like fucking Mad Max and shit like that. But yeah, man, this it's just
don't talk about that though.
What?
I played Grand Theft Auto, the enhancement on PlayStation. Yeah, with the haptic feedback and everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will say, man. Yeah, they did a good job with the haptic and everything. I don't see the difference in visuals, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, interrupt me. I mean, that's always going to be the difference in the games. That's what the things that I expected to be different on PlayStation 5 versus Xbox is the feel of the game because of their controller and load times. That's what I expected to be different in terms of games. But right now it's mostly like, honestly it's mostly like kind of tied. The gaps isn't that big. The difference isn't that big between any of them. They're less than what the Xbox One and the PS4 was to each other. We're not seeing things like that. And so, I mean, you'll get these caveats, these outliers where it occurs. But the thing about these games and these people who are keeping tag, the thing is that these games get updated. The Xbox itself updates is damn self, and there's games that perform better or look better that don't get covered again. You know what I mean? Like
when they get the updates later.
Yeah, they'll get an update or even the console update. And in some cases, to make sure, sometimes there was a moment where if you use quick resume could impact performance. If you close it out and you open a game back up, you won't see those drops or feel those drops and stuff. Games, nobody did not enough of those testings. The thing is that there's a ton of games, right, that have gotten like performance updates or just perform naturally better now by running on the new systems, and they don't get tested. So everybody's just running from like hearsay. They'll pull a game from like 6 months ago, not knowing that that's not the verdict anymore, and they'll run with that. And I'm like, what's the point? I'm happy to the point. I'm comfortable to the point where I can play the games, look at them, and I'm to the point where it can know there's a difference from what I played before and what I'm playing now, or knowing that there's a difference from what I played on my Xbox One and what I played on my Xbox One X to what I'm playing on my Series X. But it's hard. Not everybody's, they're not going to be able to capture or analyze every single game. It's just not going to happen. And a lot of these guys are going to have to honestly start doing it themselves if they want to prove a point or try to engage in these arguments and whatnot, because they're never going to be able to analyze every single game release, and they're not going to analyze games that came out before. You know what I mean? I know they analyzed like the FPS boost games because that was like a big deal. No other console was doing that, so it was a fun thing to test. But there's games that without even FPS boost that was just taking advantage of the like the raw power of the Series X and S that got performance boosts that aren't advertised as FPS boosts, that don't get tested, that should be tested so people can see like, yo, the experience here is better. Especially those early Xbox One X games when everybody was targeting native 4K and trying to target 60 frames per second at the same time and ultra settings. You could get the premiere experience now on those games, like right now. Like play. Damn, Nick, you don't got an Xbox One X? You know you can buy one from Walmart right now, right, Nick? But anyway, play Star Wars Battlefront like 2 or Wolfenstein 2 on the Series X in their native mode, their regular 4K 60 mode. Shit looks astonishing, bro. Looks astonishing.
No, I know what you mean, because Sekiro and stuff and games like that, like they benefited from that big time.
But Nick, you should get an Xbox Series X. It's at Walmart. People been bragging that the game hasn't been sold out yet. So.
Oh yeah, I seen that in UK. They have so much stock, nobody's buying it. So I should be able to get one, right?
No. I'm knowing legit in Walmart here. You should. I put one in my car. I put it in the car just to see if people were exaggerating, but you can actually buy one and like, get rid of that Series S and get the Series X.
Yeah. I guess it's time.
But
just the standard one, not the Halo one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
I
don't
think
know
it was bundled with a controller, right, for $550 or something like that.
I just saw a regular one. Like, matter of fact, let me go because I don't know why I'm paying for Walmart Plus. I'm not exactly sure why I'm paying for it.
What? It's a Walmart Plus?
What the hell is Walmart
It's
Plus?
just so you guarantee you 2-day shipping.
You can tell he married, bro. it's
Amazon
Walmart
Prime.
Plus.
Are they gonna put out a video service too?
I'm about to go on their Xbox and see if they got it.
Yeah, let me see if it's still in here because I put it in my cart. Oh yeah, hit add it to the cart. Boom, $4.99. Let's see. Can I check out?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you want it, you can send me $500. I'll buy it right now.
Well, Walmart.
Yep. It'll deliver on March 31st. It'll come on March 31st.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's next week.
Good.
Speaking of, I got Destin Legary. He has these he does like Gary's Bakery. I think him and his wife do like they make cookies, these giant cookies. I ordered some. I ordered 2. They're coming tomorrow, so I'm going to be doing an unboxing.
You get
and
2 cookies?
and
That's it?
2 packs, not 2 individual cookies. I'm going to be doing a unwrapping and a taste test on the channel tomorrow to see if he came through, because these damn cookies are expensive. So they got to see if he come through. And the problem was, and I think he's based out in California. I ordered them shits when I was hungry. But I was like,
and now you ain't hungry.
I was like, I ordered it when I was in the mood for cookies. I was like, oh, and when I'm like, I forgot all about it because I was like, oh, I got an update from UPS that they're coming. I'm like, damn, I ordered these last week. Like, I hate doing that. Buying shit when I'm hungry though. You buy a bunch of shit.
You need to see if you can get them to do like a video call with. So you can record a video.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I might do it live, or I might do a regular. I might do it live or do a regular.
Have them there so you can get your feedback on the cookies.
Yeah, dude. We need your feedback.
I'm gonna use my cooking talks. I gotta watch the Food Network to see the terminology they use, so that I can critique them. But they look good.
Because that chip you took, man, that joint.
That video got to my job, bro. People fucking saw that shit.
For real?
Yeah.
Yo, like, your wife ain't right, yo. Like, hey, go ahead, take it. I was like, oh shoot, she ain't even told. Oh no. Go ahead, man. That was funny, man.
No, but that's I mean, that's pretty much it unless we miss something. Yeah, I know Ubisoft is gonna be they're rumored to reveal like Immortals Fenyx Rising 2, which I'm all for it. That was one of my favorite games. Actually, that was my favorite game of 2020. Immortals Fenyx Rising 2. Literally, it wasn't my game of the year of 2020 because I didn't beat the game till 2021, but it was my favorite game that came out that year. Yeah, we talked about Fable, Blessed Red. What we talked about was just that developer who, said development's taking longer and longer. So does your boss talk shit about Xbox? Nah, my boss, they don't really. Like they were like regular people. They don't really care about like console or like.
You said they got to a job.
Yeah. Because one of my coworkers, I think daughters or something, watched the video or some shit like that. And it was like, oh, I know that kid. Like,
yo.
Man.
You gotta remix that joint, man.
I'm not eating another one of those chips. Like, nah, that shit's impacted me for days.
Oh, I seen it. I was like, dude, look like he about to pass out. But nah, I was just saying remix it, like review it.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna definitely review those.
Yeah, you need to get everything you can out that joint, bro.
Yeah,
shoot,
absolutely. Ubisoft's supposed to be revealing like they got I know the Division Heartland. I'm not really interested because it's going to be a free to play, so it's like I don't know how that's going to turn out. Avatar, I'm looking forward to seeing. Skulls and what's it called? What's that game that was supposed to kill?
Oh my god,
it was supposed to kill Sea of Thieves. Yeah, remember that game? They said, when Skull and Bones was announced, right? And
it's an Assassin's Creed ship mode.
Yeah, they were gonna. They was like, this is the Sea of Thieves killer. That's what everybody's calling it. 6 years later, still not
never seen the light of day.
Yeah, never seen the light of day. But I am interested if they're gonna do Immortals Fenyx Rising 2. I'm definitely for it. That was one of my favorite games, bro. Like, if you did you play that game, Nick?
No, I didn't.
Bro, it was. I'm gonna tell you this, right?
Nah, I played it, but I ain't like the control.
The game it's a better version of Breath of the Wild. It's a Breath of the Wild with voice acting, with plight, with story, a big open world, fun gameplay, fun combat. It looks good. See, and the thing is I only got through. I'm stuck on one of the expansions, and that was a game I almost 100% completed too. But that game was dope, man. It was a very, very good game.
It's just the controls like turned me off.
It played just like a freaking Assassin's Creed and all these other games. You parry, you use the bumpers.
Yeah, I ain't finished Origins, bro. You gotta think about it.
You said what?
I ain't finished Origins. I didn't finish Origins.
Wait. You ain't finished what? Assassin's Creed Origins?
Yeah,
Did
man.
you finish Odyssey?
Nope. I didn't start Odyssey. I didn't finish Origins.
Damn, bro. All right. Well, Origins don't finish until they do the 60 FPS update, which they're supposed to be doing soon. That they do that, I'm starting a whole new game. I don't care. Like, I'll start a whole new game and act like as if I never played the game. Assassin's Creed Origins was the shit. Like,
oh man, it's just the way it's built. It's like I was level 35 and I couldn't do certain stuff. I quit. Yeah, I
beat the
quit,
game at like a level. When did I beat? I beat that game at like a level 40 something. Origins.
Right, you had to, because at a level 35, you gotta understand, bro. Usually in games like that, like I just finished Horizon and I beat it before the level of 30. Like you shouldn't be held back because you gotta do side missions, right? I don't believe in that. Especially when the side missions ain't really that, it's just do this, grab that,
Yeah, man.
That's just my opinion.
But that was the first like one and that's the shortest Assassin's Creed of the recent three. They like at the time I thought those I didn't mind the side missions. I wanted to do them. I wanted to level up. Hell, in that game, I'm pretty sure they got time savers. Once you buy some time savers and level up.
So yeah, I know. Like
they should be cheap now.
Yeah,
and that but then again, I'm speaking from playing back when I played it in 2017 though. Like it was like a big like the thing is like I want to say in 2017, Horizon Zero Dawn and Assassin's Creed Origins was two of the best games I played that entire year. Like they were like my favorite games that year.
Right. So you ever gonna finish Horizon?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it after I get done with Elden Ring. It's like I'm taking this game personal. I want to beat Elden Ring. I've been playing it for a month and I still haven't beaten it yet. So it's like I have I think I only have like 200 and like something odd gamer score, but you only get like gamer score per boss, like per main boss, and like I think some legendary bosses they give you, but the thing is like I think I'm progressing. I think I'm about like 60% way through the game, but the thing is there's like some side bosses that I fight, but they're kicking my ass, and I just can't accept that they're just kicking my ass. Like there's this one dude. It's this one location where there's like I forgot there's somebody that's in the house, and when you wait until nighttime, he's no longer there, and it spawns a boss fight, and that dude has these crazy ass moves where he throws his sword at you, and it follows you. It's like a homing sword. Like he tore my ass like up, and the thing is, I feel like I should be. My level, and as far as I progress in the game, I should be able to beat him, but like I can't. And the same thing with these fall twins, fat twins, whatever they call it, the fell twins. They're these big belly ass twins at this location right before the Forbidden Lands, and they've been kicking my ass. I backtracked and tried to get the mimic tier. But there's so many steps to obtain this mimic tier. It's not even freaking. I beat my mimic tier. I thought that would give it to me. No, I got to do something else. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I just want to now I'm just going to go straight to the game, bro.
Right. I see you got to do a lot of hunting around and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm just in the beginning. So I'm just running into so many different fucking bosses. I'm like, oh, shoot. Let me go this way. Let me go that way. That's the thing about this open world with Elden Ring, which set it different than other Souls, games. You can just go and leave and come back, like, you know what I mean? So that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, man, I mean, I think we're pretty much done. Like I said, it's a light week. There's only 3 of us here. But I do appreciate you guys coming through. Ole Man Logan taking a break from Ghostwire Tokyo to talk some Xbox. And NickBanks, taking a break from much needed break from Elden Ring, because I know you getting your ass whipped.
Yeah, pretty much. I got a question though, man, about like this game. I was looking at this wrestling joint, 2K.
I think I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I've been hearing good things. It looks good. I've
Yeah,
been hearing that it's more arcadey, which I was like, if it's more arcadey, say no more. But I am not doing it for $70. So I gotta hold off. I gotta wait till they do that 2K sale, and I'll do it. One thing that happens, either gonna do the 2K sale or it's gonna go into Game Pass. But I'm gonna wait a little bit. But I do want to play it because the thing is about wrestling games, and the thing I do appreciate about it, I ain't gotta play with none of these like new wrestlers, these like weirdos. Like I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna literally play with the Attitude Era wrestlers: Stone Cold, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Kane, Undertaker. Stuff like that. Like I really don't need to use anything else, and I can respect the game like that and not feel like I'm away from it. Because the thing is that what kept me from buying any games before is that I stopped watching wrestling like a long time ago. So I'm stuck. Like I'm like after like John Cena and Randy Orton and stuff like that. Like the generation after them, I'm not really familiar with. So it's like I can't imagine buying into a game that's full of people I don't know. But if you tell me a game with Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Mankind, Cactus Jack, and all of them and stuff like that, then I don't feel like I'm lost anymore because I can literally just stay in that era. And I know all the 2Ks did that, but the thing about the previous 2Ks, they were too sim-like, and I'm like, wow. And I didn't think that worked for wrestling, especially if you're coming off playing games like WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy, the SmackDown series, and stuff like that. They had a certain play to them that just clicked, and that sim style, like sluggish, slow mechanics didn't work for wrestling. So that's what turned me off, and I didn't buy him after after the first like 2K that because I would buy the SmackDowns and SmackDown versus Raw, but once it turned over to 2K, I couldn't get with it. It wasn't the same. So if the closer they get to that arcade feel, that closer to they get to that Ukes and THQ like wrestling games, the better it is for me, and I'm willing to jump aboard.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to get on that joint soon, man. I'm gonna wait for the sale as well. So
yeah. All right, guys, we appreciate you guys for watching and coming through. It's been a wonderful episode. We're episode 97 of the podcast. So make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button. I'm gonna give you guys a couple shout outs to the people. Shout out to Bless Red. Shout out to JM120240. We won't see Starfield gameplay until June, so I hope I answered that question. Slayer, Alex PSX, you're always here. Who else? Micah Ford, Zeb, Stone Patrol, Ham Solo, Silo King, Dark Lord Alu. Yeah, shouts to all of you, Sir Dre Grape. It's been a wonderful episode. We'll see you guys next week. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe.